Right, okay, so let's quickly have a look at what's happening with the traffic across the city. And a good place to start, of course, is the Ring Road, where this morning things are yet to pick up, even though this is never a quiet street at the busiest of times. Right, let's move on. Let's see what else is cooking in the capital. And here we go. So this is what the Tema end of the motorway looks like this morning. The big roundabout, seeing quite a bit of movement, but again, we haven't started to see the bottlenecks that characterize this area usually. Okay, moving on. Where next? Okay, good. So this is the airport bypass. You can see Airport Shell there. And just in the background there, you can see the traffic building up from the Polo Ground to the airport roundabout. But beyond the airport roundabout, things are yet to get crazy. But of course, it's only a matter of time. Okay, Oxford Street in Osu, Accra. Oh, actually, no, this is Gifford Road. Gifford Road near Burma Camp. And yeah, it's looking quiet. Starting to build up on the end that is closer to 37, but not mad just yet. Still moving. Right, Tetekwashi, the big one. And yep, already from Medina, the volumes are starting to grow. The traffic is starting to pile up, especially towards the Woolworths side of the N1 overpass. But the N1 itself still looking quite civilized in both directions. Right. So there we go. That's what's happening in the capital city. But look who's here, dressed like me. It's Mama V.
Dressed like you, Pa.
Mama V's, yo.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Good weekend?
Not bad at all, you know. Not bad at all. It was restful.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was working yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
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 I
I saw you.
Oh, you did, eh?
All right. If you missed the news, well, we're on to the newspapers. A lot more headlines in the newspapers today. I've got the Daily Graphic, the Daily Statesman, the Today newspaper. I'll finish up with the Finder newspaper. Could you read the rest?
I've got a pile, yeah. So do you want to go first?
Yes.
Okay.
So let's start with the Daily Graphic newspaper. Front page of the paper today, Fidelity Bank sets ambitious targets, moves to be among top banks by 2021. SEC bites, revokes licenses of 5 companies, stops them from fund management activities. But somewhere in this paper or another paper, they're saying that there's a list of companies making round on social media attributed to SEC, saying that they've asked them not to do business. They're saying what is on social media is not from them. This story is actually from their website, where the Graphic is reporting this story from, so you've got to check it. Also on the front page of the Graphic, Child Rights International campaigns for return of kidnapped tardy girls, and reducing cocoa price will collapse industry. Cocoa Board replies IMF. Back page of the paper, Karela hold Liberty in 6-goal thriller. Shooting incident mars Chelsea Kotoko game at Revokes is also another headline on the back page of the paper. Okay, that will be it. That's it. Back page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. Shooting incidents minutes before the commencement of the Normalization Committee Special Cup match between Revokes Chelsea and Kumasi Asante Kotoko marred the otherwise beautiful football that ended in a goalless draw at the Revokes Golden City Park yesterday. Benedict will be here to give us some more inside story to that. Let's follow up with the Today newspaper. Front page of Today, pressure on Amani to apologize to GMPC boss. Also, NSBT holds first matriculation. GRA partners NLA in revenue mobilization drive. Those are the headlines when you grab the Today newspaper. Let's do the Daily Statesman, and then we'll finish off with the Finder. The Daily Statesman. We haven't won the Galamsey war, but we are getting there. Amani still under fire over quote-unquote fabricated falsehood about Accra Energy oil contracts. NPP mourns CK Tedem, Council of Elders chairman, steered party through rough times. The Finder, $300 million for one District 1 factory to procure machinery and equipment from USA. Amani got it all wrong with Accra energy deal, according to the energy minister. Otumfuo tasked Nanado to tackle challenges facing Ashanti region. And NLA GRA partner in revenue mobilization and job creation. That's what you have on the front page of the Finder newspaper. Koje Yankson?
Yes, madam. I think I'll start with the Ghanaian Times. It's a good place as any, isn't it? And here's the banner headline. UDS sets up 2 varsities at WA in Navrongo. Interesting story there. They're making plans to turn their WA and Navrongo campuses into individual separate universities, and their plans are far advanced, according to the chairman of their council, Professor Nutifafa Kwenye here. Right, Professor Yanka rallies support for reconciliation at University of Education, Winneba. Boko MCE bears teeth at FGM perpetrators. NLA and GRA partner to mobilize revenue for the state. And it's Mr. Emmanuel Kofinti, Commissioner General of the GRA, whose picture is on the front page there. ESO and Koji power hearts over inter-allies, and confusion at Brekum as Chelsea and Kotoko draw. I think it's Koji, right? Have I said that right? The name Koji or Koji?
No, okay, maybe Koji is correct. Still depends on the spelling.
K-O-R-D-Z-I.
Koji.
Koji. Hey, I was wrong on both counts. Charlie, I have a lot to learn. Koji. Eso and Koji.
Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, you never know.
Hey, what does it look like?
Kofi Koji.
Coffee Koji. I think the best accent in Ghana is the Ever accent.
Is it?
It's just so romantic. In fact, I want to do the rest of the news review in the Ever accent. It would be nice, so.
No, don't do that.
Oh,
we'll
massive shake-up at ECO High. All right, okay, let's get straight to it. In the Daily Guide, massive shake-up at EC is on the front page. Also, Nanat dines with Otumfuo. GRA and NLA sign an MOU. God, abbreviations galore. Mahama vows to bring back Galamsey Queen. This thing, oh dear. NPP and NDC vigilante talks today. We'll be bringing you more about that. Magdan ITF World Tour hits Accra is also on the back page of the Daily Guide. Here's what else is on the back page. Age is Tamaleji NPC, Ghana's fastest. Pictures of some very agile sprinters there on the back page. A very nicely captured photo. Kudos to the Daily Guide photographer. Registrar General holds WIPO Day, World Intellectual Property Day, I believe is what WIPO is. And Mamedia Walk draws crowd. Right, that's it for the Daily Guide. Oh, quite a few papers here. I'll rush through them quickly. The Independent is here. Otumfuo charges Akufo-Addo improve living conditions of Ghanaians, he says, and laments the neglect of the aged. GRA partners NLA in revenue mobilization and job creation is also on the front page. And graphic to sue Cape Coast chiefs for detaining correspondent GJ and NMC to condemn development. Okay, Kwekubako chastises Osafo Mafo, and government fires Amani again. Don't justify gaffe. Apologize for conflict of interest claim. Right, Amani Africa exposes Akufo-Addo over $4.4 billion oil find. That's according to the Herald newspaper. That's their banner headline. They are going with what Amani has said. EcoBank manager defrauds customer of 1.4 million Ghana cedis. Forged documents to divert funds. Namwan's family fighting Interpol arrest warrant in court. And GRA and NLA team up for revenue mobilization and job creation. All on the front page of the Herald. Right, the Ghanaian Observer next. Energy Minister exposes Imani lies over Accra energy deal. GRA partners NLA over job creation, revenue mobilization, and NDC nurses war games against EC. Also, Akufo-Addo lords Otumfuo and make 1D1F attractive to attract more investments. Tiwala Group Chair is the one saying this. And on the back page, one sports story. Neymar's dream of playing with Hazard could come true according to Zinedine Zidane. Right then, the publisher next, and NDC youth clash with Tamale city guards. Gunshots fired. There's a picture of Musa Superior on the front page. Stop fake news about Freemasons. Dasebre Otibuating fumes. Ekufuado mourns C.K. Tedem. Great man. I met him once and very memorable. The things he said to me were not many, but I will never forget them. Marijuana smokers turn prayer warriors. Is also on the front page of the publisher. And Utumfo has lived up to expectation, according to the president. The Economy Times is here with us this morning, and this broadsheet has these front page stories. FDI's drop in 2018, government misses targets. DWCTP block development, Ghana to lose more than half GDP, according to this story. Also, Ghana's cocoa producer price to be adjusted on advice of IMF. Yikes. Let's have a look at another broadsheet, and that's the Gold Street business. This morning, they're reporting that foreign interest in domestic bonds resumes. Net investment inflows propping up the exchange rate again. Right, this is good news for the exchange rate. But, of course, there are other aspects of the economy that can be affected either way with this. So some analysis required. Accra energy controversy deepens is also on the front page. And special court to prosecute Tier 2 pension defaulters ready. Okay. Access Bank pays courtesy call on Utumfo. And Fidelity Bank holds 2019 AGM. And their MD, Mr. Julian Opuni, is shown here on the back page, making some submissions at that event. Right, GRA and NLA in partnership is also on the front page of the Daily Democrat. NPP better known for collapsing businesses, according to Amani in this story in the Daily Democrat. And Buffer Stock CEO commended. Also, EPA trains journalists on environmental reporting. And let's wrap it up with the Daily Dispatch and their banner headline this morning: Bank of Ghana and ISA cast doubts over GIPC's FDI figures. Kwesi Botre on the woes of the city, also on the front page. And IMF advises government to reduce producer prices of cocoa. One of Africa's malaria endemic countries in Africa is Ghana, and that is also on page 11 of the Dispatch. Also inside, housing conditions in northern, eastern and Brongahafo regions. There's a story about that. And NPP's Council of Elders Chair C.K. Tedem passes on is on the back page of the Daily Dispatch. And that does it for the headlines. So many of them this morning.
Yeah. We want to quickly just bring an update on the Accra energy situation. We want to tell you where we are today, how far we have come. It started off with Amani making, calling a press briefing and then making that conflict of interest allegation. And then Dr. K.K. Sapon, the GMPC boss, issued a statement asking for retraction and apology. He gave them 2 weeks. And then Fuel Trade, the company at the center of this, also issued a statement. On Newsfile on Saturday, just real quick, the managing news editor of the New Crusading Guide newspaper, Abdul Malik Kwekubako, urged Imani to apologize to the GMPC boss, Dr. K.K. Sapon, for wrongfully accusing him of breaching conflict of interest laws. Vice President of Imani Africa, Kofi Bento. Okay, so that's the background, but first let's listen to Kwekubako.
I think Kofi and Imani goofed.
On KK Sapon in Fuel Trade?
Yes.
Okay, explain.
There's a hint of an innuendo there, even though you say allegedly. It's an innuendo.
Oh, well.
It is. You are insinuating. And if it's left to the public domain, they would think that, yes, Mr. KK Sapon is involved in some conflict of interest. If the man hadn't rebutted, if Fuel Trade too hadn't rebutted, what is the judgment that people out there go with? That yes, there's some conflict of interest matter there, and for that matter, it's shady. I think on this score, they goofed. It's the best thing to do is to do what I'm asking Osafo to do.
Okay. So can I say something now? We don't accuse Dr. K.K. Sapon of
It's an innuendo.
anything. Well,
you cast an innuendo.
I'd like us to focus more on the substantive issues. We said there have been allegations. They have denied the allegations. Now they are demanding we apologize to them or retract for accusing them. Our position is that, dear Dr. KK Sapon and Fuel Trade, we accept your denial of influence, and we accept that those allegations that have been made against you by others which you repeated are not correct. We have not accused you of anything.
Okay.
And to that extent, we think we can let this matter rise.
Okay, so let's get to the substance.
Yes.
And to, I think, 3 major points.
Okay.
And the minister responds to them.
First.
To start with, your major claim of seeking to new discovery being annexed by Accra without going through the right process, and how you came by the amount, the calculation. Can we get to that?
Very
there are
easy.
other people who have other figures. I'll show them to you.
Very easy. Thank you. I am going to read from the Accra website itself and their own statements.
Okay.
And I read, it says the Peckham Field Center will have the flexibility to tie in subsequent development of resources. In addition to the reserves to be developed in the first phase, the area holds discovered contingent resources of up to 210 million barrels of oil, combined resulting in an estimated volume base of approximately 450 to 550 million barrels of oil. Total resources in the area have the potential to increase to between 600 million to 1 billion barrels of oil, provided successful appraisal drilling activity. Data analysis and appraisal drilling are currently ongoing at Peckham South and Peckham South East. I am reading a statement that Accra has made, that they have found oil. In this industry, when it comes to estimating a find, the estimate is not based on recoverable or potentially recoverable asset. It is based on the discovered. The minister says we lack the intelligence, and we don't doubt that at all. We don't know anything.
Okay.
But we know what we've read here, and it says that according to Accra, up to 1 billion, but they have confirmed up to 550 million. If you multiply 550 million, please anybody do the arithmetic, by $65 a barrel, the value of the discovery is 30 billion minimum. And they have said it's up to 1 billion. We will not go into that.
Right.
The minister says it's not simple arithmetic. We don't understand what we're doing. We don't know too much.
Don't focus
but
too
this
much
is simple
on the
arithmetic.
minister sound.
Except of how things went down with this particular discussion on Newsfile on Saturday. First, you heard Kweku Bako Jr. and then the Vice President of Amani Africa, Kofi Bentil, there responding to some of the issues. But the Ministry of Energy also did organize a press conference. So we'll see how this actually goes today. And, you know, there's still that deadline of that 2 weeks. In the meantime, is it Kofi Bentil or Amani that has responded to the issue of apologizing? They say there's nothing to apologize. We'll see how far that can go with this matter.
But, you know, it's a pity that this allegation has dwarfed the
Issues.
meat of the issues, and there were some important issues there. I mean, it's important for us to ask the question, did we indeed lose out on an opportunity to make about 30 billion? Okay, it's important for us to ask the question, was there indeed a deadline by which we should have, corrected it, and we've allowed that deadline to pass? Because all of this would be perhaps the best, if it's true, would be the I was going to say the best, but the worst example of causing financial loss to the state, if indeed that was the case. So it's important for us to interrogate the issues, but now we're all dwarfed and drowned in the matter of allegations and back and forth. I think they need to put that to rest, one way or the other. If they say they're not going to apologize, then if KK Sapon is going to take them to court or whatever, that should happen, so that we can take that off our desk and start looking at the real issues here. Have we lost an opportunity here? That is our oil. Okay, also we have to ask a question about what the president said. You know, the president said that it seems we only find oil when the NPP is in power. And they referred to this Accra deal and said that it was a new deal. But we know that Accra is taking over from Hertz, which already had a deal with government for many years, for a number of years now. So, we need to clarify some of those details as well, and just be sure what exactly is going on here. This deal, is it new or is it a pre-existing one that cannot be changed? Or what's the situation? And are we really letting money slip, you know, through our fingers? We're a poor country. We can't afford that if that's what's happening. So please, I wish we could get back to the issues and start understanding how this deal came to be and really ask questions about how Ghana as a nation handles its oil, you know, and the sort of deals we sign with people. You know, the IEA put out a statement, a very interesting statement, calling on government to make oil deals the way the Arabs do. So you see, they will not come to you and say, okay, come and drill our oil and pay us. Okay, so the value of our oil is 20 billion, but you are going to invest 4 billion, so pay us 1 billion. They don't do that. Rather, what they will say is, the value of the oil is 20 billion. Go down there and bring it out. We'll pay you this much per barrel, and then we will go and sell the oil and keep the rest. So if it's $50 per barrel, we'll pay you $10 per barrel, which is more than enough to cover your cost and give you like a 120% profit on top. And then we will keep the rest because it's ours. But Ghana doesn't seem interested in deals of that nature. So here we are.
Wow. All right, there's some responses that Peter Amewu gives on page 10 in the Finder newspaper you can read on. Let's do myjoyonline.com just before we run off and make way for sports on myjoyonline.com. Afram Plains 9 in police grips over hazardous child labor. Ghana's first open heart surgery in private health facility successful. In Mozambique, worse than thoughts, according to UN agency. Well, so a situation in northern Mozambique is
because
worse
of the weather
than thoughts, according to a UN spokesman.
You know, they've had some hurricanes.
Days after Cyclone Kenneth ravaged the country. Yeah. Local exports to the U.S. get $300 million support through U.S. Exim agreements. GRA and LA partner to improve revenue mobilization. It's almost in all the newspapers today. This will probably be a feature that you can read. Man City edge pass Burnley to go top again with 2 to play. Otunfo has lived up to expectation. That's is the president saying that. Online petition to find missing Takoradi girls gathers momentum, nears 1,000 signatories. Gunshot as NDC youth clash with Tamale City guards. GFD comments Rhodes Minister for implementing policies for disabled. Afro-Brony breaks silence on University of Education Winneba on pass. A lot more headlines there. 2019 Ogwa Fetua Fashe launched in glitz and glamour. You can read on. But this issue about the girls missing, it still doesn't make sense, right? That the CID would organize a press conference and tell us that they know where the girls are and that they would soon be reunited.
It
and
makes
3 weeks
less
after
sense that a newspaper with national circulation would issue a story, would publish a story saying that they have been found, and 5 days later, in spite of the security agencies, well, the police denying it, they have said nothing to counter or even reinforce the story that they published.
Yeah.
That's not good either.
No, not at all. Later on our show, well, the second meeting for the disbandment of the militia groups will happen today. Kojo is on that beat for us. We will discuss the bill, the reason Parliament is being recalled, also all after sports. Stay with us.